mnfreemasons.org. Joe, that's mnfreemasons.org.
Now, the same people, the schools that want more money, we're learning from an Alpha News piece. I'm sure we'll never see this in the Minneapolis or St. Paul newspapers. One might assume that enrolling in a Hmong studies class would entail learning about the Southeast Asian people's culture and history, but in Minneapolis, high schoolers are instead taught lessons demonizing capitalism, a system absent in communist China, where many Hmong live, as a pillar of white supremacy. So the kids are being taught that capitalism is a pillar of white supremacy alongside slavery and genocide, according to course materials obtained by Defending Education. The Hmong Studies course, I don't know, why are you picking on Hmongs? For all the people that come to America, the Hmongs have succeeded and done well and worked hard.
Yes.
And the Hmong Studies course, which requires social justice activism as part of a final project, is just one of the ethnic studies classes offered in Minneapolis Public Schools that push an anti-racist agenda. Course materials newly uncovered by Defending Education and provided to the Washington Free Beacon show classes that described ethnic studies as an anti-racist tool featuring themes like decolonizing education and readings by anti-racist activist Ibram X. Kendi. And starting with the class of 2025, students are required to take at least one of those ethnic studies courses, which, according to the Minneapolis Public Schools, aims to examine the concept of race as an organizing construct in U.S. society. I guess there's too much money at stake in going forward. Mm-hmm. There's just too much money at stake in hanging on to racism. Defending Education's findings should perhaps come as no surprise, given Minneapolis Public Schools spent over $2 million in 2022 to incorporate ethnic, racial, and cultural diversity into the K-5 math curriculum. Minneapolis's ethnic studies courses, however, could soon have wide statewide influence if other school districts use them as a template. Legislation signed into law by Governor Walz requires every high school in the state to offer at least one ethnic studies course beginning next fall. So you want more money, but at the same time, you would denigrate capitalism, which is the means by which the money is created that you expect to be handed. That doesn't work for me. I would not have that course in school. Remember Walz hired that guy? I tried to find him at McAllister.
Oh, yeah.
The commie that wanted to undo the government.
Yep.
I don't want to read this. It's as depressing as considering deficits and budgets and government shutdowns. It's just, ain't nobody happy.
Life should be pretty good.
Ain't nobody happy. Can't anybody here play this game? As Casey Stengel once said of the Mets, can't anybody here play this game? People say to me, well, you just complain. Do you have any solutions? Well, no, Warren Buffett does.
But what I always say to that is, that's not my job.
But there is not one simple solution, though. We are in so far at the deep end of the pool that we have to peel back layers like an onion to fix this. There's not a simple solution. Good food reference, huh?
The mayoral candidates in Minneapolis met yesterday. And they were grilled on their stances on crime and policing. Let's see if any of them gave a straight answer to the question. There's less than 3 weeks left. And we learn, this is a Fox 9 piece. One thing all the candidates mentioned was the need for police officers when it comes to violent crime. But there were different opinions on how to handle nonviolent crimes. We have fewer officers on a per capita basis than any major city in the entire country. That is an issue. So we need to step up. We need to hire more police officers. We're doing that right now. We need to continue that trajectory. That was Jacob Fry's answer. I would find that reasonably straightforward.
Okay.
We need more police. All right. I believe that we need peace officers, not police officers. Peace officers are people who bring peace. Oh, thank Kamala Harris. Peace officers are people who bring peace to our community, not chaos. The police are not This is Brenda Short, a candidate for mayor. Brenda, go home. You're useless. She did say, I believe we need more officers on the street and boots on the ground, but where is this other nonsense coming from? Peace officers. That doesn't work, Brenda. Go home. We need all our police, and yes, we need the police that are certainly recommended by the Charter Commission, but we need them to be doing what police do, uniquely what they are qualified to do, so they are not primary calls for mental health challenges. They are not wasting their time on low-level crimes. So this is Dr. Dwayne Davis. He's a candidate for mayor. I disagree with the whole attitude that the police are supposed to ignore low-level crimes. That's what impacts the whole quality of life issue in a city. Who did I say that was? Dwayne Davis?
Dwayne Davis, yep.
We need to make sure that we take a holistic. Okay, I just get rid of anybody that uses the word holistic. I don't even have to read
Right.
beyond that word.
Okay.
You're
with
done.
you,
You're
with you.
done.
Yep.
We need to make sure that we take a holistic approach to public safety so that officers can focus on violent crime, clear the case backlogs, focus on violent crime, drug trafficking, human trafficking, and that we have a more comprehensive system. That's Omar Fateh. Yeah, but you used holistic, Omar. That's among the many reasons
See you.
I would never vote for you. Among the many reasons.
Is it in the top 10?
It's in the top 10, yes. Because there's 9 that are more important reasons
Than this one.
why, if I lived in Minneapolis, I'm not voting for this person.
Right.
Whew. There's final one here. First, we have to build trust, both between residents and police officers that are protecting the residents. But it's beyond just police officers. We have to expand what we're doing from the behavioral crisis response team and other resources within that ecosystem. Okay, you're out. You used ecosystem. That's as bad as holistic. This is Jazz Hampton. Now, Jazz Hampton might be a great guy. Dwayne Davis might be a great guy. But all these answers sounded like they were quickly. The tumblers were turning in their brain to say whatever might not anger anybody and get the See, if I was asked about policing, I would say more police. Next question.
We got unrest right now. We need more police. and
I'm
order.
done with that answer. I'm saying more police.
Okay.
We must fulfill the number the charter requires, and we're 300 short. And then I would wait for the next person. Police funding, they were asked about. We'll see how many answers we can come up with for that. Fry says we need more officers, while the other candidates talked about how resources are being allocated. We need more police officers in this city, and we need to be doing the necessary work to recruit those officers right onto the department now. When we don't have enough officers, we rely greatly on overtime expenses, said Fry. Okay, I'll accept his answer. We need more cops.
Okay.
Let's go. Here comes Omar. Well, we see it as an entirety of the public safety system in which police are a piece of. That includes police, That includes an alternative to police. So we want to make sure that we're making good on that report from the city last year and making sure we're more strategic on our approach. I defy anyone to tell me what that means.
Gobbledygook.
It's just utter nonsense. Here's Jazz Hampton. Police funding has continued to go up year over year in the last several years, but are we allocating in the right places? Are we finding the folks we're trying to hire? We need more funding for public safety. We need more police officers. We need more behavior crisis response members, said Hampton. Let me stop. Did Brenda? Yeah, Brenda's coming up. Well, I'll get to it when I'm done. Here comes Dwayne Davis. The key for me is all of those operations, that is everyone, violence interrupters, behavior crisis and response, making sure that we are funding them so they all do what they do and not pressing police into some things they shouldn't be doing, said Davis. Well, Dwayne, B as in B, S as in S. You're funding a bunch of people who aren't accountable and write their bills on paper napkins and submit them. Are you kidding me? We don't need... Here. More police, period. The candidates have become too invested in this peripheral BS. Well, we need guidance counselors and mental health crisis. I don't doubt that you do, but you need more police. Brenda Short. They already got their raise. We just need the right officers who want to protect and have a relationship with our community members. Because if we don't have a bond with our community members and peace officers, we can't have a safe place called Minneapolis. All right. Brenda, go home. I don't know why you're in the race. Does anyone ever talk about behavior?
No, and that's the problem.
You know, Melvin Carter, who's had 2 terms as mayor of St. Paul, in the city is not. The city is not in good shape. He wants a 3rd term. You know, one of the things that
Just like walls.
One of the things that distinguishes Melvin is that he has really expanded the size of city government. It takes up a lot of money, and he's brought on board a number of people who have job titles that cannot be defined for results, cannot be measured for accomplishment. There is one, and as long as you spend all that money, Melvin, I'll give you another idea. As long as you've gone this far, you might as well create another office.
Oh, no. More?
But it could be measured for achievement. Create the Office of Personal Responsibility. Now, I don't know who in the hell you could find to take that seriously and run it, but, you know, what did you hear when Cub Foods closed in the Midway? Well, we can't do business here. We're getting we're undergoing thefts all the time. There's drug use around here.
Employees
There's fights in the
safe.
store.
Yeah.
The employees are. That's a behavior problem among the citizenry. What? There's a $800,000 now at stake in the city of St. Paul to enhance safety measures for the Rondo Library at University in Dale. No. What about the behavior of the young people who come in the library?
That's their library. That's their neighborhood. Why?
Does anyone do the parents want to wake up to the fact that you too, parents, are taxpayers, and it's costing you more and more every year to accommodate the needs required to handle all the misbehavior? Why don't you straighten out your own kid? I know I've worn this out, but I'm going to go back to it one more time.
The UPS store?
Yep. Carter blew it early in his administration. Much like Obama early in his administration could have done great things for this country. Instead, he demonized cops and played the race card every chance he got. To me, Obama was a great disappointment when he could have just transformed this country. He was young, he was hip, he
had the attention of people.
He was bright, he had the podium. Oh man, did he blow a chance. Just blew it up. Didn't even Melvin, you did the same thing. You had a misbehaving teenage girl carrying on at a UPS store on Hamlin and University 5-6 years ago, about this time of year.
Yeah.
And the police came in and they calmly handled that situation. They didn't rough her up. They didn't do anything. And the first thing you did, Melvin, was demand to see the video of the police behavior or whatever it was. I haven't looked it up for a while. But nowhere, at no time did it occur to Melvin to take that punk 13-year-old or 14-year-old or whatever she was, take her by the cuff, the scruff of her neck.
Oh, you can't do that.
Okay, guide her with a...
Maybe the collar.
Put your arm around her and walk her. Where she lived nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Go to her parents' house, knock on the door and say, your daughter is an embarrassment to this city, and her behavior is absolutely pathetic. And I want you, parents, to do something about it. The whole city would have worshipped at Melvin's feet. Black people would have, white people, Hmong people, Spanish people, everybody would have said, oh my God, thank you.
This guy gets it.
He gets it. Never happened. Never will. Race is too big of an industry. There's too much money at stake. It's a crying shame. No one mentions behavior. Instead, what do? They want to spend more government behavior on behavioral therapists. A father makes a good behavioral therapist, and a mother makes a good behavioral therapist. Mm-hmm. And we don't have to pay mom and dad.
No. That's a free training program.
I didn't know it was going to be this good today.
Yeah.